next quarter-final between Australia and Spain following that New Zealand-France game. Well, Tim Moore selects his strongest lineup. Emily Cherry and Elia Green at pace on the outside, while Sharni Williams and Shannon Parry are two of the best performing forwards on the seas. For Spain, 2 wins on day one. Keep an eye out for Berta Garcia, wearing that number 1 jersey. Maria Casado scored 3 tries yesterday, and also their playmaker, Patricia Garcia, number 4. One of the playmakers of this Spanish team. Team's about to enter onto the field, just waiting for the Spanish team. I'm your match commentator, Scott Hastings. Alongside me, Maggie Alfonsi, former Rugby World Cup winner with England and 7 star. And well, what an action there in the that last game between New Zealand and France. New Zealand pipping France by 19 points to 12. And Australia, well, they could wrap up the series here if they could get a win and into the semi-finals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still recovering from that last game, but France did show that you need to keep working to the very end if you want to make sure you get a result. But here, I expect Australia to come out all blazing from the start. Like you said, they've opted for pace on the starting lineup with Tony Gatto and Green. But I expect Spain to be relentless in their defence with their pocket rocket, Patricia Garcia.
We've got to deserve the right to go wide.
And those are, there's the 1-2, Shannon Parry and Sharni Williams. Parry with a yellow scrum cap, Sharni Williams with a black scrum cap. Vanessa Real there for Spain. Our referee in the middle is Amy Barrett from the South Africa.
Know which way you're going yet? Not sure yet. Okay.
And just confirmation there, if Australia win this match, they are the series
Captain Blue
champions. They've lifted the title in Dubai, in Sao Paulo and in Atlanta. How dearly they would love to finish it off with another bit of silverware by winning this Sevens tournament in Clermont-Ferrand. But first of all, they've got a quarter-final to navigate through. Good kick up there, and there is Berta Garcia, the outstanding forward for Spain. Spain playing really good rugby on day one. Garcia. Oh, a looping pass there from Casado. Doesn't quite find Real, who had to dip for the ball, and then stepping here is Teresa Bueso.
Entry.
So first possession here from the kickoff from Spain.
Yeah, it all came from a very good kickoff to start off with from Spain, but here Australia should have released the ball.
Let's go.
So Casado just takes the quick tap and go. Then the wraparound play, but she slips on the surface. So Garcia had to go back in and support. A lot of the play for Spain revolves around their scrum half, Patricia Garcia.
10.
But Australia have the first possession of the game, and Charlotte Caslick there, distinctive with the ponytails. There she is.
Let's go.
Great ball player. To Shannon Parry and Sharni Williams. They're like 2 peas in a pod, those two.
Yeah, especially with the scrum hats.
Well, unusual for Caslick to kick the ball, but the rebound. Well, there was a knock on, I think, from the rebound.
I think you can see here Spain are really trying to put pressure on Australia. I think the thing for Spain is to make sure they don't give Australia any space. If they can put the pressure on Australia, you'll see what Australia are going to try and do is almost look for that space behind the back of them to try and get behind them.
You're absolutely right, because they showed in Langford that they can be awkward customers. They beat the USA twice, and once in pool play, the other in the semi-final, but they were beaten in that plate final, the last tournament, by Canada. But they can make life very, very awkward for you.
Start.
Short line then from Vanessa Real. Australia, though, right over the top to gain the possession. Shannon Parry with the hard work. Quirk goes in to deliver to Caslick. Dalton. Williams Williams stretching the Spanish defence. Now Australia's traditional game is to whip the ball quickly because they've got pace on this outside.
She's lost it.
Bit scrappy for Australia. Maybe a little bit nervous here for Australia as Emily Cherry delivers ball. There's Cherry on that line. Look at the way she cut the angle there. And Emily Cherry, 18 tries this season. This will be her 19th or 79th in her career. And Emily Cherry puts delight on the smiles of the Australian players.
Yeah, Australia will be happy with that try. We talk about nerves, especially starting out on day 2, and a try like that will definitely calm the nerves.
And Chloe Dalton adds the conversion. And it is a good start then for Australia, but the angles and the lines are running in support, and was just outstanding in that try.
Yeah, we talk about the short lines. We said about when England played against the USA, and that line Emily Scarrett did. Emily Cherry did exactly the same there, just cut a beautiful line and then put off there Maria Casado.
I hope you're enjoying all the action coming from Clermont-Ferrand. That's the voice of Maggie Alfonsi. Talking about nerves, she was, this is her debut in the commentary box, did very well yesterday. A little bit nervous, I'm sure, at the start, but settling in nicely and enjoying all the sevens action here on the HSBC Women's Sevens Series.
Lost it now.
So what can Spain do to fight back into this game? Cutting back on the angle and running into Charlotte Kaslik. It's Teresa Bueso, but Spain got the ball illegally. Playing the ball on the ground.
Please, I've got it, thank you.
Australia have been very relentless at the breakdown, not giving Spain any opportunity to really play. As we see here, Kaslik comes in with a physical, aggressive tackle. And what she does very well is her ability to bounce back on her feet and take the space, which is very key in the breakdown area.
It's okay, time was off before on the serve, it's okay.
Pop-up time's so important, and it was Berta Garcia who played the ball on the ground, and well, just a little bit of concern in Spanish ranks. There's a player down on that far outside channel.
Okay, serve's going on.
Angela Dupin going off.
Yeah, Spain were disappointed by that. She had a good day one, very strong player.
So look at the set play once again from this Australian team, and well, Emma Tonigato scored 2 tries yesterday to get to her 50th on the series. Dalton then. There's a little bit of space on the outside channel through Evgeny Pelite, and Pelite just shows a clean pair of heels. And it's always interesting in the selection of Tim Walsh. He's quite prepared to bring on his bench very early on in the tie.
Yeah, we talk about having impact off the bench and bringing her on now, you know, 90 seconds to go, and she's made an impact from the very start. Ivana Pelite has so much pace, and if you can get the ball to her early on, get her comfortable with the ball, she will make an impact.
Chloe Dalton took the conversion of Emily Cherry's try. Can she make it 2 conversions and 2 tries for Australia? Yes, 14-0. And just an interesting, just to look at the pace that Australia are able to bring to the game.
Yeah, the pace, but it all came from that really good slick pass by Chloe Dalton, which allowed Ivana Pelite to come onto the ball.
So Angela Dupin, we hope she gets some good treatment there. Incidentally, we identified Alea Green at the start of the game. That was her just taking the ball there with the green boots, and she's come off the bench. She was listed to start, but she's now swapped with Emma Tonigato. Oh, spilt ball there from Patricia Garcia. We've seen it so often as rugby players, as former rugby players. It's so frustrating, but it's so easily done.
Oh, very frustrating. I think one of the big things we talk about is retention, and here Elia Green gets so high, like a leaping salmon, comes up and puts pressure on Spain, and
Crouch.
if someone's running at you like that, you're going to knock the ball on.
Oh, come on. I thought you were going to say a leaping
Sit.
kangaroo.
Steady.
Being an Australian.
Just lost her footing. Relax.
It's full of animals today. There's the cockerel in the background. It signifies half-time.
Steady and keep it up. Crouch. Bind.
So they put it here from Charlotte Kaslik. Kaslik with right behind the back of the scrum. You'll notice to the right of the picture here, she goes. Kaslik. And then Emily Cherry had to sort of leap, puts the kick in. Green. Green then chases back on Maria Casado. Casado's done well. Listen to the reaction of the crowd. They're full of praise for this Spanish team. But enough's enough, says Patricia Garcia. Work for Spain to do. Australia 14-0 up at half-time.
Oye, está bien, ¿eh? Estamos bien en el combate, estamos bien en el impacto. Mirad.
All right, girls, massive focus on our defense again, okay? So connect up, okay, push up, hip square, make effective tackles, turn it over, okay? In attack, let's really drag, we know they're narrow and come across, drag them, okay? And the grin, hold our depth, okay? Put speed on both sides, all right? We'll be able to pull them out, mismatches are going through, all right? There's 7 minutes here, I want us to empty the tank, all right? We're going to own this half, I want first points on this one, okay? Let's go and enjoy this half, enjoy.
Let's go, you guys. New half. Let's go. Pick it up. 1, 2, 3. New half. Let's put it in the
Well, Tim Walsh, the words of the Australian coach, he's supported by Scott Bowen and encouraging his team to empty the tank.
Yeah, quite interesting, because first half's been okay by Australia. Probably hasn't been their very best first half. He talks quite about making sure in attack they drag the Spanish and look for those mismatches.
Well, no mention at half-time from the coach Tim Walsh. If Australia win this match, they win the series, and what an achievement that would be. New Zealand have held the titles before them, but without any shadow of doubt, they've Australia been scintillating across the whole series. Emily Cherry to Ilya Green, and Green, such a lovely athlete and runner of the ball. Oh, take that and that. Strong and determined. And now spreading the ball to this far side. Shannon Parry, the Australian skipper, cutting a line. There's Peliti, who scored that try. Peliti down towards the 22. Look at the quality of the passing. Cherry to Green. And Greenwell, she just couldn't finish it off.
Option.
God, we talk about the quality of the passing, and just that final last pass didn't go to hand. That was beautiful work there. Oh, but we must look at this sit-down hit off by Elia Green. She's a strong player, and you really have to tackle her appropriately when you're trying to get her down. But there, she just couldn't get her hands on the ball.
It was knocked to the touch.
Yeah, you can see the frustration there as Emily Cherry looks on. Emily Cherry, 79 tries,
Here we go.
19 this season. And Elia Green,
Time off.
not far behind as well.
Time is off. Time is off. Time back on.
So the throw-in from Spain, always difficult to attack from deep. Well, the overthrow leaves Chloe Dalton with a clear run to the line. And surely now Australia will think about that Sevens World Series title.
It must be quicker.
Yeah, inaccurate play there by Spain.
I've had a word. Thank you.
In your 22, going long at the line out. And Chloe Dalton being very quick to react to that overthrow.
Come away there. Come away here. Come away here. Come away here.
So Dalton to convert her own try. It's a pretty good nudge. It's a very good nudge. 21 points to 0. Australia in command.
You almost think, what are they doing here, Spain? Especially being that close to try line. You need to try and go short. Be safe with your ball. But here they go far too long. Get that overthrow, and Chloe Dalton very quick to react.
Well, the kickoff to come. Well, wherever you are watching, let's hear from you. Hashtag Clermont7s at 7S. And the handle is at World Rugby Sevens. Australia about to be confirmed as the HSBC Women's Sevens Series champions. There's still, of course, the tournament. They'd love to win this one as well. And likely that there'll be a match-up in the semi-final. The old rivals, Australia, New Zealand, will meet in the semi-final if Australia can still come away. Batakasia for Spain, though, still has all the desire to make life awkward for Australia. Australia get back in numbers. Good play there. Dalton, well, there was an opportunity to feed Quirk, but she came back down this blind side. Green slips, thought about coming back on the cut. Manages to get the ball. Pelite just stretching once again. Great, another great example of a good pass to Alicia Quirk. Quirk just steps and goes round outside. Lourdes Almeida kicks down towards the post. What about this? Quirk, has she got the footballing skills? Well, the ball's still there. And I think Spain got back to save the day. Let's listen in to our referee.
What did you say?
For me, no try.
No try? Taken in by yellow, 22.
C'est 9 blue.
Okay, 22, thank you. 22.
So despite the little language barrier with the French in goal touch. Oh, was that a touch there, Maggie Alfonsi?
Yeah, I think actually she might have just got a hand there. If you look here, Quirk gets... Oh, no. Actually, I think Maria Casado did enough just to push her off the ball and stop that try being scored.
I must say, Maria Casado has had an outstanding tournament. 3 tries yesterday. You may remember she used to wear the face guard, and but full of bravery there. Ball delivered deep down into Australia's territory. Charlotte Caslick, ball in 2 hands, is brought up in the touch code in Australia and then delivers one of those quality passes once again. Dalton has Cherry on the outside and then Green. It's quite a formidable option, but look at Emily Cherry. Oh, is that not one of the best tries we've seen? Emily Cherry, take a bow.
Sensational! What a try! Emily Cherry does it again. She's strong, she's powerful, but what she's very good at is her balance running. She's agile, and when it comes to defending someone like that, how do you do that?
Conversion is good. Just note how Chloe Dalton keeps her head right over the top of the ball when she converts these tries, but another perler here from Cherry.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, she comes from deep, she switches the ball from left to right, and she's so balanced as well, so it's very hard to try and defend someone who you know can go left or right off any foot.
Well, Australia quite simply have been in commanding form in this quarter-final tie. Dalton on this occasion doesn't quite get the ball over the 10-metre line, so a tap restart. Confirmation of the score then, 28 points to 0. Four tries, all converted. And Spain, as much as they played well yesterday, they just haven't had enough possession to threaten Australia, and the little errors like that have just threatened their game.
Yeah, I think Spain are trying too hard to try and get into the game. But just a forward pass and
You're talking far too much on the game.
just wasn't accurate enough. And you've got to be accurate and clinical when you're playing against someone like Australia.
Time back on. Sit closer. Crouch. Bind. Sit. Steady.
Well, the ball delivered in the scrum. A bit scrappy there.
Advantage offside, 11 blue.
So an advantage being played. Stepping back is Pelite, Ivania Pelite. All thrown there.
Over.
Mike Charlie Williams on that outside. Here's Green slipping once again on the set surface. Oh, Charlotte Caslick, she knew where the space was down the touchline. Gets the support to Green. And there's numbers over if Australia can get the ball back here.
Off the knee. Play on.
Tanatani. Pilates cuts back again. She's done an awful lot of that, switching the play, looking at the angles. Caslick probing the blind side once again, and Charlotte Caslick with a classy try there. Classic Caslick.
Very good try there by Caslick. Sensational again on day one as well, and today is only continuing her form. Something Australia do so well is their ability to recycle, but also their change of angles, change of lines, and Caslick knows how to cut a good line.
Well, scintillating sevens from Australia, and Chloe Dalton, can she nail this final conversion? Yes, she can. It's been a perfect performance.
Here we talk about a change of lines. Nicole Beck and then Caslick, and oh, she just backs herself. Great way to end the game.
And confirmation that Australia are the series champions. Fantastic for them. And let's hear from you. Hashtag Clermont Sevens at World Rugby. Confirmation that Australia have won this game in the quarterfinal. Australia 35, Spain 0. And congratulations to Australia, the HSBC World Rugby Women's Sevens Series champions of 2015-2016. Look at these scenes of joy. They know